वही कल जमीन पर तो था। पूछोगे तो बताएगा वो पंछी कि एक दायरे में सिमटने में और पूरी दुनिया को दायरा बनाने में बस इतना सा फर्क है। इतना कितना है? इतना है या इतना है? जो नापेगा वो जाने कि जहां धरती और आसमान मिलते हैं, नानकुर से दूर, अगर मगर शायद से दूर, वहां भी दोनों में फर्क बस इतना सा है। धरती और सातवें आसमान में फर्क बस इतना सा है। ये एक अंतर प्रेरणा है। ये हमारी, आपकी, हम सब की अंतर प्रेरणा है। एक कदम, एक छलांग, एक बाजी, एक गहरी सांस और एक ललकार खुली हवाओं में कि हाँ, मैं बना हूं उन फिजाओं के लिए, कि हाँ, मैं बना हूं उन ऊंचाइयों के लिए जो ऊंची तो बहुत है पर नामुमकिन भी नहीं, क्योंकि मुमकिन और नामुमकिन में बस इतना सा फर्क है। धूप छांव में फर्क बस इतना सा। तो बस चलिए फ्रैंचाइज इंडिया के साथ ये फर्क मिटा देते हैं। फ्रैंचाइज इंडिया।
Hello and good evening, everyone. Thank you very much for joining in. We would like to welcome you all to the special edition of this webinar, which is Independent Franchise Consultant Webinar, which is a very unique business opportunity with world's largest company, which is in franchising solution company, Franchise India. We are world's largest today because there is none outside who can help any investor to get them into business or help any brand to scale up the business. So Franchise India is welcoming each one of you today to this special webinar, which is wherein we are talking about Franchise India offering an opportunity, which is independent franchise consultant opportunity. So what we do, Franchise India is a 25-year-old trusted advisory firm. So we have three formats. We have, one is investments. So we help investors to get investments into businesses and we help them to get them into business. So we handhold, and after understanding the requirement of every investor, based on his profile, based on his investment, and especially based on his market, which is a good market for him, which is the right fitment, we help to get him into business. At the second side, we have scaling up. So we help brands and businesses to take them to new markets and help them to build their structure, build them their network in different markets. Third is we also help existing business owners, it's a resale business, to get a new investor in the system. And if anyone do not want to continue with the similar business and they wanted to sell their business, or any investor who have taken any franchisee earlier, invested in any of the business, now he want to exit out of the business, that also we help. So today in this panel, let me introduce also our team, because what we do is we help all our investors, all our partners who are with us. We have 97 cities network, which we have built over last 3 years. So we have supporting them locally, regionally. We have all our regional heads. That's why they are on the panel today. So let me also introduce. We have Shakti Well. He is there in our Chennai market, Chennai branch. So he is taking care of all Tamil Nadu and the Kerala market. His team member Kapil is also there, and we also have Sumer. Sumer is with us from Chandigarh office, so he is taking care of up north area and helping all investors and further all our partners to get them collaborated and help them to get them into business. We also have Shilpa Maria. Shilpa is from our Bangalore office, and she take care of Karnataka part of the business, and all the IFC partners who are in Karnataka are hand in hand working with her and building up the business further. So we have Santosh. He's in our corporate office, that is Delhi, and he is there in Delhi and helping our north part of it, which is Delhi NCR larger part. Manish is representing our Kolkata office, the east side of it. We also have Hemant. He's in Mumbai, taking care of the Mumbai region and helping our IFC partners in Mumbai. We are also glad and happy to see our chairman, Mr. Gaurav Maria, and who has also joined us, and our managing director, Ms. Sonia Chaudhary. She has also joined us this special webinar today, wherein we will discuss largely three parts of the business. One, what is Franchise India journey till now? That is last 25 years, what we have done, how we started, and what was actually the need of this brokerage business to start with. And what was the gap when we see, and we started this brokerage when we went outside and go to helping investors hand in hand. Second is, what is the franchising? So how big this industry is, that also we'll discuss. And third is independent franchise consultant opportunity. That's what this webinar is all about. So we will be also having a presentation for all of you, where we'll give you complete understanding about the structure, what we offer, how we build it, and what is there for you. And as per the payout structure and as per the growth ladder, we will discuss that one by one. And also, we have Q&A box in this webinar. So we will request, whenever we ask, you can share your thoughts, your queries in the Q&A box. Humble submission, we do not have a hand-raising opportunity or option in this webinar. So please request you all to use Q&A box to share your thoughts in this. So first, I would like to welcome our chairman, Mr. Gaurav Maria, to throw some light on this and put some perspective to take it up further. Welcome, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Sanjay, and welcome, friends. Welcome to a very, very special webinar. And why it is so special? Because not only it's a special opportunity, but it is very, very close to us as a business model, because we feel that's the future of franchising and future of business brokerage, that we build entrepreneurs who work in the capacity of consultants and help other entrepreneurs emerge. So that's an opportunity. It's an opportunity to invite people who would work with Franchise India and help other people start their entrepreneurial journey. So what I'm going to cover is a couple of things, which is talk about a little bit on franchising. We'll talk about why India is now emerged as probably the fastest growing franchise market in the world, and why that is happening. And that we will really debate on, and I'll give you some points and why I feel it has come to our advantage. And that's why it really needs us to push our network even bigger. As Sanjay is saying, we are touching about 100 cities in India, but the ambition is to go to 200 cities in India. So that's the larger ambition. And this is not just limited to India. I'll talk about what we're trying to do globally also. Then we'll talk about this IFC program. IFC stands for Independent Franchise Consultants. Why it is independent? Because they're independent entrepreneurs, but backed by Franchise India, which is world's largest franchise solution company. And then we'll also talk about how consulting business can be very, very exciting, and also equally not for everyone. So one has to understand what it takes to be a consultant and how it can be rewarding for you. I mean, end of the day, you're choosing a career, you need to know how rewarding it can be. What is the minimum and upper limit to a business? You know, we call the human throughput. What is the kind of throughput you can do, and how much money you can make out of this business? We'll talk about that. And then I'll talk about generally the business model and how it is evolving and how it's becoming very, very exciting for all our IFC partners. But before I do that, I'll pass it on to Sonia. Sonia is a managing director, 2 decades of experience in franchising, worked with over, I think, 10,000 brands in any given point in time. She has a team of about 500 odd people spread between our direct teams and independent franchise consultants. And also her team has been credited to do more franchise sales than anybody else in the world. We use this line called nobody sells more business than Franchise India. And we really stand by that. And we would create this leadership always, because we believe in that. We believe in entrepreneurship. We believe in creating new opportunities for people. So that's what her team does. So over to you, Sonia, for giving a little brief on maybe franchising, Franchise India, your own journey, and what all your team does. Over to you.
Thank you, friends. A very good evening once again to all of you. I'm happy to see a very big audience who's joined in. In fact, we do this webinar every week, and it gives us so much of encouragement to see the spirit of entrepreneurship, and that is what our vision was when we started our company, Franchise India. So I'll start maybe giving a background, we extend a little bit to what you've already heard. So Franchise India at the group level is a very integrated company, a complete franchise solution company. And we are also the world's largest franchise development and distribution company with a reach in more than 97 plus cities in the country, with a vision to be in more than 200 cities through our partners, and also about 6 countries outside India that we have our presence in. And so Franchise India, we have worked all these 25 years to build and also evolve our capabilities to be able to add value to the entire franchise community that we continue to serve. And hence we created a very large ecosystem, a platform where business buyers, business owners, franchisors, franchisees could interact and discover each other through our media platform, exhibitions, websites, and bring new opportunities and businesses into franchising, make sustainable business model, and further, work very closely with the investor community who, even after searching and going to say maybe 600 brands, for example, we did our largest franchise show about 15 days back in Pragati Maidan. More than 600 companies with their management, leadership, decision makers are present in that expo. In spite of that fact, we get investors who go through every opportunity in the show and still come to Franchise India team of advisors to understand which out of the many opportunities would be right fitment for them. So through our group companies, we have a very big interest, obviously, in franchising, licensing, real estate, and also mid-market M&A. And we have positioned ourselves as an investor-centric and a franchise-focused company. And like Sanjay mentioned, we have had a very storied journey over the years of 25 odd years. And like any startup, we had a very humble beginning, but our vision was very big, which started with the vision, one big vision, that we wanted to make Indians self-reliant through entrepreneurship. So that stands true today, and that has been the core driver of our business and continues, to be true and very, very strong even today. And so we wanted to ensure that this opportunity of entrepreneurship should not be accessible to limited, rather it should be accessible to everybody. So democratization of entrepreneurship is what our mission at Franchise India, every team member, every stakeholder in the company is. And on these lines, through these years, we worked on this path to create and evolve our own strength and also deepen, our return to the community that we serve, and also deepen our sustainable competitive advantage, which has helped us not only to sustain all these years, but also lead with a 90% market share. And through the continuous investment in the brand Franchise India that we continue to make. So as a prime mover in the ecosystem, friends, we have built a strong community with business buyers, aspiring entrepreneurs who engage through these platforms. They take advice before investing in a business. And we also offer a very strong proposition to companies. We offer a very strong proposition to companies who want to enter into franchising. So this is a complete 360-degree solution from making companies franchise ready to expanding their footprint and also to executing international market entries. So at Franchise India, our international arm, which is Fran Global, has worked with more than 470 such international brands to help them come into the Indian market. So I'll give you a little understanding about the various group companies. And we started as a very strong media company, which continues to be the strongest, and still very strong. So we run a very big media house where we run the biggest franchise exhibitions in the world. And a platform for business buyers through our .com, which is franchiseindia.com. We are also very proud partners with a very big media company called Entrepreneur, which is a US-based company, and we're their partners for India and Asia Pac. And then our second group company is more advisory centric, which is again an international company called Francorp, and we are the partners in India for the last more than 16 odd years. Francorp is again the world's largest and also the oldest franchise consulting company, which is present in more than 40 countries, and it is almost about 48 years in the industry, and it takes credit of working with some of the global names in the industry and names which are synonymous with franchising. Names like Hilton Hotels, McD's, KFC's, Hershey's are the kind of names which Francorp has worked globally, helping them get into franchising. And our third part of a group company is more, I would say, transaction side, where a large distribution is required. And this is where we work closely with the investor community. We advise them, and we take a mandate from the companies to help them expand to various geographies, which includes India and also overseas markets. And on an average, this part of the company does almost about 1,500 crore of gross transaction value of business every year. right? So when I say this is the business that we do, there is a larger transaction that happens through our media platform where investors can come and directly interact with the companies or through the website or through the magazines. But this is a transaction where investors give a mandate to Franchise India, and also the companies give a mandate to Franchise India to find relevant partners. And also, one thing which I also want to mention here, a larger part of this transaction or contribution, in our brokerage arm has been done with our partners who are spread across the country. So I'll give you a little understanding on, why we feel this is an opportunity. If you look at the industry, we have been here for more than 25 years now. And even the opportunity today that we look at is even bigger than the years that we have come by. So we need to understand, how big this opportunity of franchising is in the industry. And I'll give you some stats so that, you're able to relate to it. So if we talk about, franchising, it is directly proportionate to the consumption. And as our consumption grows, so is the future of franchising, or I would say, the contribution of franchising in the industry. So India has very strong economic fundamentals of domestic consumption. We all have been reading about it. And that is one reason, irrespective of, what happens around the world, we have still been able to, maintain, because our consumption is very, very strong. And looking at the trend, franchising in the next 10 years is slotted to be at least 10x of our current size. And on an average, we are increasing about 25% year on year. Right? So consumption story in India, like I said, is interesting, big, and that is what makes our economy, resilient. Now, India growth, if we look at maybe 2004 and 2008, our growth compared to the, I would say, global economy was higher, right? So India's growth of 2x to 3x has always been, we are almost 2x to 3x of what the global average has been in the last 20 years. So 2004, 2008, we were 2x and 3x of what the global average was. India was growing at 8% then, while the world was growing at about 4%. At the current rate also of global economic growth, as we see, if we see the average global, it is about 2.5%. And India's continued, growth, even in the last year, which is 22-23, was about 7.2%. That was a GDP growth that we had. So which means that GDP, doubled from US 2 trillion in 2014 to about 3.75 trillion in 2023. And we also have predictions that this is going to become almost double, which is about 7.5 trillion in the next 7 odd years, which is by 2031. So in order to also understand some of more drivers of franchising, I also want to highlight some of the key shifts and give you some comparison why we feel, India is a very strong story. Now, we are amongst the top 5 largest economies in the world. We are slotted to be at the top 3 large economies in the world in the next 3-4 years. And it is also the fastest growing economy in the world. So while the percentage of growth is comparatively higher, if we compare to countries like US, countries like China, Japan, Germany, who are currently growing at a rate of, say, US is growing at a rate of 1.1%, China is growing at a rate of 4.5%, Germany is at about 0.3%, Japan is about 1.5%, but India still continues to grow at about 7.2%. So the rate of growth is very high, almost 3 or 4 times in certain cases, if we compare the top 5 economies in the world. We have also very robust growth when we talk about service sector. India's growth, if you see over the last, nearly more than 2 odd decades, it has been fueled by very strong performance of the service sector, which contributes almost about 52% to our GDP. And service sector is dominated by franchise business. So the GDPs of the world also is shifting to service sector. And since all the top consumption categories, they come from service centric businesses, we feel there'll be a big demand in the system. And 25% also of the total startups that we see coming up, the entire ecosystem of startups are all franchise businesses, right? And overall, this is about 4% of our entire GDP contribution is franchising. So, and this is only going to go and become larger as we see the departure of, unorganized to branded organized retail. So these were some I would say, patterns which I wanted to also share. One more important thing which I would also say we have actually observed over the years. When we started our business, the business community was primarily people, who were into business. But the last, I would say 15 to 20 odd years, there has been a very big growth of people who have never done business in their life, right? So there are people who come to us as first-time business buyers. Out of 100 people who buy business in the country today, 40 people are the ones who have never done business before. So there has been a very big growth in the first-time business buyers. So this community is 45% of the total business buying community, and largely a lot of professionals that we serve today. And like I said, this is almost double up, in the last 15 to 20 odd years. Second reason why we feel this is also going to go bigger, if we talk about bigger cities like Delhi, Bangalore, I'm sure we come from all across. The job opportunities in cities that we are in, maybe tier 1, the capitals, is comparatively better. You still get paid for highly for the jobs. But when you look at smaller cities, tier 2 cities, there's a dearth of job opportunities and there's a lack of high paying jobs, beyond tier 1, which is another reason, which franchising, I feel, comes as a rescue. And even if you look at the startup ecosystem in the country, 49% of our startups that are emerging are coming from tier 2 and tier 3 cities, which also gives a very big validation of the spirit and the potential of entrepreneurship, that we see. Another validation is, the partners that come every time we do this webinar. We see a lot of you coming every week. So these were some areas which I wanted to highlight. We'll also talk about, more on franchising. I'll request, Gaurav to take over. And followed by that, we have a small presentation on the opportunity, what it takes for you to become a partner. How can you even qualify to become a partner? While this is open for everyone, but we need to understand if you actually fit in the criteria. So I'd like to request Gaurav to continue and further.
Thanks, Sonia. And friends, we will make it very interactive now because I think this is a long webinars. If you keep just listening, you don't register much. So before I get on my first question to all of you, I'll summarize what Sonia said. India is poised to become one of the largest markets in the world for franchising, which is not a small industry. It's $4.5 trillion industry. Why it happens? A couple of points which she's mentioned. I'll take 4 key points. 1, the population has come to advantage. Franchising is all about consumption. We have the most population in the world and we would need everything more. So which means that we will eat more burgers, we'll eat more pizzas, we'll have more haircuts, we will have more gyms because population is young. We will have more kids to go to schools, which are franchised. We'll have more couriers to be sent, which is a courier franchise. So anything and everything which you see would become more in this country. So which means that we should all be proud when we are all born in this country, our time has come. Our time has come. It's not about this ministry or that, while a prime minister is doing a great job, but I still feel the country's time is very important. It was the same time when American dream happened in 70s. And then you had China emerging in 90s. India is emerging in this decade. So it's a very, very strong capability. So that's one, population. Second, entrepreneurship. What we have seen in last 5 years, if you go to college also, to MBA college, I went for a lecture and asked students and say, what do you want to become? 70% of them raised hand and say, we want to become an entrepreneur. They didn't say, I want to take a job, right? And the balance 30%, because I'm a fan of entrepreneurship, rather entrepreneur brand is registered with me. I registered that and nobody had taken the brand. So it's entrepreneur brand registers with me. So I asked, I said, why 30%? You don't want to become an entrepreneur? No, sir, we want to do job for 2-3 years and then we want to become an entrepreneur. So which means 100% of the class, and I'm talking about one of the top business schools of India, 100% of the class wanted to become an entrepreneur. Every home, I'm sure every home has somebody who wants to start a business. Even a woman who's not been working for the last 15 years, looking after family, we call by pride, say, homemakers. But I'm not a big fan of that because I feel that women should have equal opportunity. That's what my personal feeling is. A lot of people don't like my feeling, but I feel that women should work. I mean, they're much smarter than men are. So, but every woman also thinks now that I can do something. Maybe I can become a home chef or something. Like in COVID, we sold so many home chef franchises that people were trying to do out of their home. Somebody wants to run a tuition, somebody wants to run early learning classes, somebody wants to run a fitness center, somebody wants to do something else. So entrepreneurship age has come in this country where people are wanting to become entrepreneurs. They don't want to take a job. And even if they are in job, they still want to do something in entrepreneurship. Everybody has a plan B, plan C. That's also we've learned in COVID. So even if you are still doing a job, you might be doing some other business which gives you extra income, right? Some of my IFCs are like that. Some of my IFCs have some job which I don't like, but I tell them that you can do full time, but they're just a little comfortable. Somebody is working on a multinational, he's getting into the position where he'll get some kind of a retirement fund. So he doesn't want to lose that fund. So he's continuing a little bit on the job, but he's already started working, becoming an independent franchise consultant. The fourth thing, which is equally important, is third thing is very equally important is, as Sonia said, there are first-time business buyers. 55% of people who buy business today have never done business in their life. What do they prefer? They prefer a franchise because it's safer. It's safer. And they would get knowledge to start it. So franchising is popular in that sense. The fourth thing, which I always believed, when I came back from America and started Franchise India, I told everyone, the only thing which would hit this country is brands. And a lot of people didn't want to believe at that time. You know, in Delhi, those days, there used to be only 2 branded hotels. When I say branded, which means the chain branded. And rest were hotels which were JP or some other brand or some other brand, which are local companies only limited to Delhi. Now look at the city. You don't go to local hotels. I mean, you still can stay, but you still from a entry-level Oyo, which is a franchise, to a top gear Four Seasons, which is a franchise, or a Marriott's or a Sheraton's or a Holiday Inn's or likes of them, all changed because consumer trust brand. Whatever you used to wear and get it stitched, no one, everyone, almost everyone is wearing branded. Even ethnic wear is becoming branded, right? Our ethnic wear, which we used to get it stitched from boutiques, is becoming branded. More so, now services are completely becoming branded. Completely. Even your basic services of direct-to-home services or even entire thing. And I can tell you in next 5 years, maid coming to your home would be a franchise, which means that it will come from a franchise offering. Actually, globally, it's a very big industry. A plumber coming to your home would become a franchise. You will hire a carpenter or somebody to do your paint would become a franchise. Rather, we did a program for Asian Paints and Nippon Paints where you actually dial the paint. You dial a paint, it hits the franchisee. Franchisee has 50 people working for them. They would send somebody to fulfill the job and do the painting job. So this is going to touch everything we consume, because everything we consume would become branded, and franchising is all about that. So this consciousness of branding is right there in every consumer today. Every consumer from day morning, when you start your day and get onto your breakfast, what do you see? You see Amul. What is that company? A franchise company. It runs about 17,000 franchises in this country. Or you see a Mother Dairy, it's also a franchise company. Then you get onto car, get to a gas station to get petrol. That petrol pump is a franchise. Then you drop your kids to maybe school. The school they're going most likely is a franchise. From a preschool to then you get back to office, work in office, most of the things you consume there, or maybe order lunch from a dark kitchen or this kitchen, all are coming from a franchise. Then you come back in the evening, take your wife to a shopping mall. All things you see in a mall, everything is franchised. Even the big box businesses like we handle Tata Chroma or a Pantaloon, they all franchise now. You know, so this is the consumption which is happening. And I'm talking about areas which you do day to day. But if you are calling for a diagnostic lab, it can be Dr. Lal or a Metropolis or any other one, it's totally franchise. You go to any other recreation place, it's all franchise. So franchising is really part of our day-to-day consumption. You might not look at it, but everything we're consuming is coming franchise. Now, this is my first question to check your intelligence. Tell me the world's #1 brand when it comes to franchise. Use the Q&A box Anybody can go and answer that. Why I'm asking this question? Because it'll open up your mind in franchising. Let me see who's the first one. Somebody says KFC. People love KFC in India. So most of the international seminars I do, people say McDonald's. I know McDonald's have come. Okay. Sylvester has said McDonald's. So otherwise McDonald's comes first. But KFC is more loved here. Actually, KFC is performing better than McDonald's in India. If you see the data, KFC is doing almost 120,000 sales per store average, and McDonald's is doing 90,000. So we love our chicken. So it's doing better than McDonald's. So you're right. So KFC, McDonald's, everything is done. Well, they are great companies. And one of my companies, Francop, actually did McDonald's model in 1976 to franchise them. But I'll give you the answer, which almost I've tried this question on maybe 1,000 seminars and webinars, and never I got the answer, but I got an answer. Somebody either he's attended my seminar and webinar, or somebody who's super intelligent. So Vimla S gave me the answer is Coke. Absolutely right. Coca-Cola is the biggest franchise and the biggest brand in the world. There's nothing bigger than that. So all their bottling plants and distribution centers are actually franchise. Now you start thinking that how big the impact of franchising is. The distillery you have is actually a franchise. Anything and everything starts becoming franchise. This ITC Atta, which comes to you, it comes from a franchise. So franchising has a phenomenal amount of impact because it brings two things together, which is so powerful. One is opportunities, and second is entrepreneurship. So opportunities perform better when run by entrepreneurs, not by employees. Agreed? Entrepreneurs do a very good job. Elon Musk does better job than anybody else sitting there for his company, right? So if you bring in opportunities for entrepreneurs, that's why companies are even in their employment, they're taking and making people think like entrepreneurs. And that's what franchising does. Franchising brings opportunities and entrepreneurs together and creates a powerful idea. In a country like India, where we don't create jobs. See, India, we don't create jobs. If you are in Bhatinda or in smaller cities in India, very, very small cities, pick up any small city, and you want to make 50,000 rupees in a job. Is there a job? The best job you can get is a bank manager job. Because there are no big companies, nobody's hiring there. But people have aspiration in the smallest of cities to make 2 lakh rupees a month, 3 lakh rupees a month, and they make it. I mean, we sold more franchising than anybody, can think in Bihar. And big investors come there and they buy big franchises through us. We sold Chromas there, we've sold dealerships there, we sold DPS schools there, we have sold GD Goenka schools there. So we've done so much of investment, entrepreneurship in Bihar because people want to make money, but they want to stay there in Bihar. They don't want to come to Bangalore and do jobs there. So because of these reasons, franchising is growing in this country. And that's why we feel India's time has come. India would become the largest marketplace in franchising. And there are two things which are going to happen. One, Indian businesses and brands would go global. So you now go to Malaysia, go to a good mall, go to Pavilion, which is the biggest mall there, and you will find Barbecue Nation. You will find Fab India. You will find Lenskart. You will find Himalayan Ayurveda products. So that's what we're going to do. Now we're going to be ready for going global. Tanishq opened in New Jersey, right? So this is what is going to have the next wave, which I've been talking for the last 2-3 years, is globalization of Indian brands. Indian brands would compete the world, and we produce great products, great businesses, and we'll take it to the world. Second thing which is going to happen is digital franchising. With the digital economy, you don't need even physical stores. If I produce something which is direct to home business, I can do a digital franchise. Like this Aman Gupta of Boat, he can do a digital franchise for Boat in any country in the world, where somebody would do the exactly same what he does in India and launch that on different platforms. And we are the first company in the world to launch digital franchising. We are pioneers of digital franchising because we feel in this digital era, India can lead. Because we have everything. We understand technology, We produce great product and great pricing, and we can sell it to the world. So digital franchising is going to be another big area for us. Now, my next question, everybody has to answer this, not few. I mean, I congratulate Karthi, Vel, Fairoz, Dinesh, and Hemant, and Sylvester. All of them have been answering, so others also should answer. So this is a question to really introduce yourself. Like we all introduced ourselves, and I would like you to introduce yourself. If you're a professional, you're currently in a job, write P. If you're a business owner, write B. If you are somebody who's worked as a consultant, coach, trainer, any kind of experience of professional services you have, write MC, management consultant, MC. And if you are in a career change, which means that currently you're not occupied anywhere, you are free, you're looking for something, write C. 4 choices: P for professional, B for business owner, MC for management consultant, and C for career change. And everybody should write. There are a lot of people, almost 100 people are there on the webinar. This is also a quality of a consultant, that a good consultant always engage. If I sit in the airline also, if somebody sitting next to me, I will ask them, what do you do? And I also introduce myself. And most of the time it works, because they would always remember that this guy can get you business, right? Ask yourself, I mean, if you want to buy a property, there are 1 million property brokers. If you want to buy a financial product, then another maybe 1 million. But if you want to buy a business, you want to start a business, you want to have 20 lakh rupees and you want to start a business, where would you go? There is nobody outside franchising. There is nobody. So which means if you become an independent franchise consultant, you are a star. Everybody wants to know you because you can help others to start a business. If you go to a party and say, look what I do, I help people to start a business. I'm a start your own business specialist. They would never forget you. They would never forget, because it fits in their aspiration. It's like if you're not married and somebody says, I can get you married. Like, you want to forget him? No. Even if you're married and he tells you that you can get another marriage, you still don't forget him. You have to have something which you can add value to in somebody's life. And a lot of people don't have that. Right? If you meet a doctor and you have somebody in your family suffering from that same practice he does, you never forget him. Right? So we solve problem. Because we solve a very important problem of people finding in their careers, they never forget us. So let's see who else done. So Sonia, you want to take the names of people and what they do? Just make it a little interactive, and everybody should write.
So friends, keep writing in. We like to make it as engaging as possible. All right. Maybe I'll pick up, and I see a lot of comments which have come in. So I'll pick up from Mr. Hemang Thakkar. About myself, he says a bit of all the 4 choices combined because of downsizing and layoff wave that he currently sees. And we also have Mr. Vikram Kalia, who's picked up B as a choice. And friends, if you can also mention your city, that would be really very, very helpful, because we already have a network in nearly 97 plus cities. And there are certain regions and cities where our current penetration of partners is less. And we would definitely be looking at more partners in these locations. So if you mention your city, it would really be very, very helpful.
I see a lot of people, and somebody said, look, I was in job and I become an entrepreneur. You already gained. Job.
Wonderful. We have Mr. Sylvester also from Dubai. So Mr. Sylvester, I like to say that we, recently appointed, about some months back, appointed a partner in UAE. And it's a great market for us. And it's also our own office of Franchise India Fan Global in Dubai. And in fact, Gaurav is there in Dubai tomorrow and day after. If you happen to be in Dubai, perhaps I'll request if you would also like to meet.
So good. So I see a lot of people writing. So if you are in a career change, you are in a golden time, right? If you got fired, you're blessed, right? Some people feel bad in a country which is so much of opportunities. you get a chance to do something else which can become more meaningful for you in life, how better that can be, right? Maybe God gives you this chance, right? And I'm originally from Chandigarh, right? And one of the big industrial groups, I worked a long time back when I was in telecom in 30 years back. So my career runs about 30 years. And so I went recently to Chandigarh. In the morning, my mother goes to a temple, a very popular temple. So I went with her. So because she goes regularly, so they treat her, and she's also different age. So I went inside the temple where you worship, and somebody took my name. And the same guy, which used to be working with me 30 years back, big distributor, Sony distributor. And obviously we greeted each other, met after some time, and he knew what I was doing because, so he came out and he said, look, this might be a blessing that I met you here in this temple. There's something to happen. I want you to meet my son. And if you give some time, I will come and meet you. This is what happened in our business. This is what we do. Anywhere, we meet people and we create opportunities. And that's what we are. So I always tell team, it's connecting opportunities. That's our business. We're not people who are selling our services. We are connecting opportunities. Every single person you meet is an opportunity. Every single business you see is an opportunity. Just connect them. Just connect them. So like we have come here, you've known us, we've known you a little bit. And if we really know each other, I'm sure we'll never forget each other because we'll continue to see how can we connect opportunities with each other. So good. Let's get on to the why IFC, why we are recruiting great partners, knowledgeable partners. And I'll split that into two parts. One, I'll talk about the IFC, the business model, the financial model, how it works. And then I'll probably talk about qualification of becoming an IFC because everybody cannot become, right? And I'll give you examples on that. Why IFC? 3 reasons. As I said, Sonia, before COVID, was running a team of 570 people selling franchise. At a group level, we were almost 1,600 people. But in this business, only selling franchise as a business advisor or a consultant, we were about 570 people. I used to always face 3 big problems. And that's why I chose, I will give large part of my earnings to my IFC partners. And these 3 problems were, first problem was consistency. Over the years, I have 3 phones. I'm still sitting here, I have 3 phones. Obviously, I work international phone to domestic phones, and I don't call anybody. But in a single day, I will get like 700 WhatsApp messages, mails, and I think sometimes it tire me out, but I tell, I'm blessed. A lot of people need me. Anybody even thinks in his life journey, I worked with their father to get him business. Now they bring their sons to me for their business. So I don't want to have a call because I am sitting in their phone book. Anytime they think business, they think me. So this needs consistency. So when we market our team members and so they sometimes change the job, they're not there, the consistency breaks. With IFC partner, you become champion of that city. Anybody in that city wants to start a business, you're the guy and you're there. You're always going to be there. You're not going anywhere. And you rather tell everybody that, look, anytime you need help or your friend need help or anybody needs help, here's my card, just get on to me and I'll continue to give you great opportunities. That was one very big reason. Second, experience is not for everyone. Not everybody can become a consultant, right? Like my senior team is sitting here, they're senior guys, but sometimes junior guys don't have that ability to really go and convince somebody on their business opportunity, right? And I felt in my IFC network, I have the most brilliant minds, people with experience of 20 years, worked in large corporations, worked in different capacities, handled different businesses. They bring in so much of experience in this whole structure. They are so brilliant. So brilliant. And so like Sonia was mentioning one of my IFC partners in Dubai has 30 years experience, 25 years in UAE. So he knows UAE from everything, right? So he's done 25 years. If I have to hire a person of that caliber, one might not get, second would be very high cost. So I felt if I get a good IFC partner, I'm happy to share a large chunk of my earnings with that partner. The third was integrity. End of the day, it's also your reputation. I learned this one time from the biggest corporate house of India. And when we're saying what profile of franchisee you want, he says, go and find out. This is most respectable corporate house telling me, he said, go and find out a franchisee who feels he has more reputation in his city than our reputation. We are a popular brand in the country, but he should feel that, oh, everybody knows me in Agra. I am the king of Agra. I am the one who's entirely. So when you become an IFC partner, you bring in your reputation also in the whole system. And combined reputation of Franchise India being world's #1 franchise solution company and your experience in your city creates a very powerful combination. That's how we started IFC program. Now, what is the business model? Business model is very simple. When you come for our training, we do 3 days training, and then you have to do every Monday, 8 o'clock, Wednesday, 8 o'clock, Saturday, 8 o'clock, every week, 3 times, 8 o'clock Zoom. And then Sundays, we do refreshers. So a lot of training. We believe in training. So when you come for training, the first thing we start is the 2 banks. There are 2 banks which you need to have. And both we provide you, which means the brands and opportunities. When you start the day 1 of your business day, you will have 500 brands to represent in your market. Now, this is impossible thinking, right? You cannot even think, how can I aggregate 500 different opportunities and I can represent across sectors, from small investment opportunity from 4-5 lakh rupees to say 50 crore opportunity, from a school to a hospital to a small cloud kitchen to a microbrewery to any kind of a fashion brand to a lifestyle home brand. Everything available with you. So you have a great start to go with confidence to somebody and say, look, if you're looking for a business, I have 500 different opportunities and give it to you. And 500 are exclusive with Franchise India, which means even if you apply to the company, you have to go through Franchise India. The second bank, which is the most critical bank, is investors. Where do I find investors who are ready to invest in the business? Now, friends, this is why Franchise India has been a unique company. Anybody can become a consultant, but you cannot build the brand. We have invested over 1,500 events in 300 plus cities, which would have costed us over 400 to 500 crores over the years to build that brand equity. I can challenge, go down to anybody, any person who has interest in business and say, have you heard about Franchise India? Most likely answer is yes, right? So we have built that equity and the network and the database. And every month, this month, I'll give you just an example, and you can reach out to any of our cluster heads. They will share with you. We are doing 23 physical events in 23 unique cities of India. This Saturday, we have a show happening in Surat. Next day, Nagpur. We will do everywhere. Guwahati is a show, Ranchi is a show, Jammu is a show, Chandigarh and big cities, every month show happens. 23 physical shows, 51 digital events in a single month, which means almost every day 2 digital events are happening. We have an independent special show starting, which is called Bharat Franchise Show, which starts on 15th. We will distribute minimum of 200 different opportunities to the market. Today morning, we had 12 o'clock. Every day, 12 o'clock, Sonia does. Today, we had a brand called Monjani's, which is a popular bakery chain. We are looking to open up 100 units only in Delhi, right, for Monjani's. It's a small investment, easy investment. People can start in 15-20 lakh rupees. And we have already sold many in the last month itself. So every day, a new opportunity. International opportunities. We have portfolio of 110 international opportunities which come to you. So the business model is very simple. You have brands. We give you investors which are qualified. It's not that you're doing cold calling. They're all qualified. They all have applied for a particular brand which we are giving you. Then we train you on each brand. Then all these qualified investors, when come to you, you have to counsel them and make the deal. That's it. right? Now, the potential, how many deals you can do? An average person who puts about 75 hours to 100 hours can do about 3 to 4 deals a month. But he has to build the cycle. It takes about 2 to 3 months. When your investor base becomes good, you have done a lot of joint meetings, then you get on to 3 to 4 deals. And if you want to go beyond that, then you need to start hiring people under you. And we don't restrict you. Initially, I don't recommend, because I feel that you should do it yourself. And as you go down level, you can hire a couple of people under you. Imagine you reach out a point of level where you have, say, 3 people working for you. Each of them is doing 2 deals, 6, and you are doing yourself 2 deals. It becomes 8. Your net revenue would become about 25 lakh rupees. So which would mean in our sharing structure, at 25 lakh rupees, if you are there, you make 12.5 lakh rupees. Even if you paid 2.5 lakh rupees of your team members, gave them some incentives also, you have a little bit of office expense, other thing, you still take 7-8 lakh rupees ahead. But this is a firm model. This is like a firm. And smallest of my branch does that kind of a number. Actually, my smallest branch would do 40-50 lakh rupees. But this is a kind of firm number. But if you work as an individual, then also you have opportunity to do anything from, say, 2 lakh rupees to about 10 odd lakh rupees, depending on what products you're doing and how much you do. If you sell a master franchise for a brand, you can make any money. You can do that. Your fees can run into multiple crores also. So friends, this is a very, very evolved, positioned business, globally proven that franchise brokerage is a big business. So we do 3 things. One is franchise brokerage, which I explained. But some of the coaches, consultants also are great coaches. So we give them training on how to become a franchise coach. So they coach the brands also how to build and scale their businesses. So they get retainer also. They get retainer from every single brand which they work with. And I'm doing a training on 12th, 13th, and 14th. Out of that, 4 hours is actually coaching. How you coach a company to become successful. By the way, I also run world's largest business coaching company. It's a separate brand called Action Coach. So that's also ours. We run in 40 countries. So we understand coaching. We understand business coaching, how business coaching works. But we are working on creating very few can practice as franchise coach. But they have to have that caliber, because coaching is not for everyone. How to get them right team, how to get their right strategies, how to work with them to create different departmental performances, and so on and so forth. And some can also get into the 3rd level, where you become an exit planner. What is exit planner? That you help people sell their business. So if I was running a, say, hotel, I don't want to tell anybody that I want to sell it, because my employees would leave, my vendors would come, other things would happen. So you don't want to tell anybody. You want a specialist. You want to call a specialist, say, Mr. Exit Planner, can you come down and understand my business and confidentially sign with me, understand and do my business valuation, and then sell my business? So all 3 we do. But I always say start with the first, then go to the second, then go to the third. But imagine if you're doing all 3 practices, you have enough and more sitting on your table. You will not be able to find. It's time also. It's a very, very rewarding career. I can tell you with confidence that this is the most rewarding career. That's why investment bankers are paid the most in the world. They're paid more than the lawyers. They're paid more than the doctors. They're paid more than anybody else. Investment bankers are the most performing community in the world because they create value. That's exactly what we do. We create value. We create value for our investors. We value for our brands. Brands love us because we scale them. We take them to different markets. Investors love us because we help them make the most important decision of their life to start a business. This is what we do. And this is what we enjoy doing. So friends, this is also not for everyone. So I'll come down to my last part, and then I will like to have any questions from you. And team, please keep looking at if there is a question from anybody. Somebody said, I'll enjoy and love coaching. Absolutely. Coaching is very rewarding. Any kind of coaching. You're a sports coach, you're in that. You are so passionate to see somebody perform because of you. But you have to have attitude towards it. You need to be giver. You need to think through. You need to sleep, not thinking about yourself, thinking about your client, right? So if you are somebody like that, you make a beautiful career. You make a beautiful career. In my business coaching, I have about 100 coaches between India, Middle East, and other places. And we have very strong coaching companies, number one in the world, called Action Coach. But franchise coach is coaching franchise companies, which is a great, great opportunity. So good. So let's understand who can qualify. The first qualifier for me always have been, and I'll probably explain you a little more. So I always tell in my seminars that there are 3 types of ROI. And people get confused on ROI. ROI is the most abused word in the world because people don't know what is good ROI, really speaking. So I'll explain everybody that there are 3 types of ROI. First ROI, which anybody can do, is just about return on investment, which means that you put money, money works and gets you money, right? You sweat out money to get money. Say you become a distributor for Apple. You will put a lot of working capital, you will sell the phones, and the phones would get you money, right? And if you put X amount of dollars or rupees, you'll get a similar kind of return. So it's very flat in that sense. People get certain return on capital deployment. It can change a little bit of variance from opportunity, timing of opportunity, and things like that. But return on investment is pretty straightforward. And you can never win with somebody who has more money because he'll put more money, right? So like Mukesh Ambani just launched his laptop at 16,000 rupees, which is nice looking entire thing, because he would have bought millions of that, right? Because he bought millions of that, he will be able to get that pricing, he will be able to market share, he will get the returns on the entire capital. Nobody can compete with him. Everybody is out of the game, because this would be, again, the same story he does in telecom. He will take away the entire hardware market by storm, right? So this is a capital game. This is a return on investment game. More you put, more you get. The second ROI and third, I'm a big believer of that, because I had never had so much of money. I'll be honest. When I started, I never had. I was a small business owner. So small business owners cannot work on the first ROI because they have small money. They cannot compete with big boys, right? So the other two was very important for me. The first one was return on intelligence. I always felt that I should be the more intelligent entrepreneur than the next person sitting there. I should be sharp to locate an opportunity. I should be sharp to locate the timing of that opportunity. So return on intelligence is people like Rakesh Jhunjhunwala, who's no more, but he was a return on intelligence man, right? He knew what to buy, when to sell, how to do the market, how to do the entire thing, even marketing himself. He was smart enough to tell, this is what Rakesh Jhunjhunwala is buying. Because he was buying, everybody started buying. Because everybody started buying, the market goes up. So that's why he became a bull. So he was sharp. He was a very sharp guy. So people with intelligence, people with that intelligence always make money. They don't have to put capital. With small capital also, they make a lot of money. And we get surprised how these people become billionaires and millionaires, and they had no money, but they had intelligence. They had strong intelligence. They had return on intelligence. The third is also my belief, is return on involvement. How involved you are. Every time people ask me that nobody can compete your company for 25 years, you're number one. I say, because my company works 6 hours more than any company every single day. Everybody in my organization works harder, right? We work 365 days. I can tell you, Franchise India never sleeps. Somebody is working 365 days, right? Because we work harder, we are ahead of the game, right? So these two are very important. So my qualification for IFC is these two. The first one, I'm not so interested. The second two, I'm interested. I want a person who's thinker, who always learns, who's committed to learning, who's committed to knowledge. And second, hardworking. He wants to put man hours because we paid man hours. Our product is time. If your product is time and you don't bring time, then what do you bring? You bring nothing, right? So that's going to be a very, very important qualifier. Another qualifier to me is somebody who has great engagement and networking skills. We have a particular program which we're going to train on 12th, 13th, 14th. Is called How to Build Yourself as a Brand. because you are the one who's going to be in the market. People have to look up to you. Your advice, your suggestions, your recommendations, all is going to be very, very important. So how you build yourself a brand, we have a module for that. We train you for that. How you run your social media, how you run your seminars, how you run your webinars, how you interact on a call, how you present yourself on a call, how you engage an investor, how you engage a brand owner. All that is very, very important. And this has not come from any bookish knowledge. When you come to training, you will understand from us that everything we speak is proprietary. It's all been practiced and done and experienced. Then only we are sharing with you. We have sold ourselves businesses. Sonia, when it started in 2003-4, was selling a franchise, which in a single year, she sold almost 100 franchisees for a South Indian company, which is still one of the largest South Indian companies in India, called Dosa Plaza. Right? It's everywhere. It's not only India also, but it's outside also. We bought over that business at that time. Later, we gave it away in 2011. But she was young, but she sold in a single year. I can bet nobody can do it. So it started from the experience of doing it yourself, and then training teams, and then getting them to do it, and then making even youngsters perform. Shilpa, who's there on the call, we were on a review. She had an employee which joined 15 days back. And
also a brand that we onboarded 15 days back.
The brand we
15 days back.
The guy joined 15 days back, and he's already done his first deal. It's about persistence. It's about persistence, how we train them, right? And this all is our part of our training. So friends, this is an interesting opportunity. Again, I said, you have to be honest about yourself. Go and see yourself in mirror and say, do I really want to become a consultant? That's first question. Second, do I have these two other ROIs? Third, I'm committed to be a great networker, that I want to think that any person I met, how do I create value for him? If you have all that, then talk to my team and they would talk to you. And next 3 days, I'm going to do some discussions with some of the selected ones. And those people who qualify can join my training and Sonia's training and Sanjay's training on 12th, 13th, and 14th. This is exceptional training. You will love it. From the start to end, you will love it. You will, after the training, you will tell yourself, if I just were to come on training, this was still valuable. I've become a smarter person. I'm much more smarter than I was, right? So we're going to talk about case studies. We're going to talk about businesses, how you build your business, how you build the most important thing, a first slab, 5 lakh practice. Then second slab, 10 lakh practice. Then third slab, 25 lakh practice. 5 lakh monthly, 10 lakh. I'm going to teach how do you build a 5 lakh practice. How you make 5 lakh rupees a month, right? So we're going to talk all that. So friends, thank you very much. I will take your leave, and maybe Sonia also will take a leave, and we'll give it to Sanjay Bhatt. Sanjay Bhatt is, again, 2-decade experience in franchising with Franchise India, also the leader of the IFC network. He's a CEO and director of the business, and he will take you through how the business model works, how you get payments, what sharing you get, because it's all very important, because this all runs. When you like something, you want to know, how can I do it and how much I can make it, right? So that's all going to be very, very important. And then you talk to, if you're from Tamil Nadu and Kerala, there's a gentleman who's there, Saktivel. Great. Again, Saktivel is a great experienced guy in franchising, build and work with top companies, large companies of South India. Last job, he was with Kevin Care. Kevin Care is one of the largest corporates of Chennai. So you have to talk to him. If you're in Delhi or in UP or Rajasthan, you have to talk to Santosh. Again, a very senior guy in our system. If you are in up north, if you come from my city, Chandigarh or Punjab or J&K or Uttaranchal, then you have to talk to the most handsome man with us is Sumer. He likes, he's gone. Oh no, he's there.
He's there.
Or I thought he didn't like my statement. And if you want to talk to anybody in Karnataka, we have a lady which is there, Shilpa, which is leading the complete Karnataka business. Visit her office, talk to her, have a discussion. If you want to talk to somebody in Bombay, talk to Hemant. Hemant has also a boss who's Rupesh in Bombay, and we have also two young people, Kapil who's from Chennai and Manish who's joining from Calcutta, and we also have Venkateshwar who joins from Hyderabad. So this is what our team is. We have also a team in Gujarat, which is not able to join at this moment. So Gujarat people can talk to our Gujarat team. We have team in Ahmedabad and Surat. We have show, and so that's our larger network. So we have teams to support you everywhere, and these teams are exclusively working on the IFC sport structure. Rather, we call them IFC success team. They are all about IFC your success. If you become, their designation is IFC success team. So their responsibility is only one: make your partners successful. So friends, if you are interested in this, talk to them, and then we take it from there. Sonia, last words from you.
I'll say one thing, and thank you, friends. You've been there for more than an hour, and a few more slides to understand what it takes to become what model is. But while we are an asset-light model, it does not require too much of investment to be made. Any investment that you look around to even explore opportunities, you will see they're almost 3 times to even 50 times and maybe even higher of what investment it takes to become a partner. So while it is an asset-light model, but an intellect-heavy model, right? So because our business is that of advisory, which means that last mile experience in our business is extremely important. And being a economy which is driven by knowledge, it is important that as an advisor, you are seen by someone who is able to give credible advice and also hyper local market knowledge. And that is the reason we need a deeper penetration. So you need to be on top of your industry, keep acquiring both new information and also expertise to stay competitive. And we need partners who have the determination to build their own brand and self-equity. So that's what I want to submit as I close. I request Sanjay to take over.
Thank you very much. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am, for giving us a lot of insight about franchising, Franchise India, and IFC program. So, friends, please be there for next 15 minutes more. We'll take some presentation, few slides, which are
very important slides. I don't want anyone to miss guys. So very important slides.
Absolutely. And rest of the discussion will be happening with our team one-on-one. You ask questions, they will ask questions, and then we will take the complete discussion further. So just to give you overview of what we offer. So anyone, if you can confirm my screen is visible.
Yeah, you're visible.
Great. So what we offer is tablet. So T stands for technology. So we give you CRM access. We create a CRM for you, and we will create a email ID, which is Franchise India domain email address for you, so that you can have your all discussions and meetings, and then after that send mails to your clients. It can be any your investor, it can be brand, or it can be any of your prospect for any business. So A stands for access of infrastructure. What Franchise India have created, we have offices all across. Any city you belong, you can use our office. You can use your our office for meetings, boardrooms for meetings, or you can also use it for permanently for your, you can have one station there and have our team member also helping you, supporting you on daily meetings, and will help support you in terms of business to close. B stands for brands. As we discussed, we have 500 brand list ready. The day you join, you are in the training program. Next day, you'll get the brand list with you. And over and above, we have also many brands, around 16,000 brands registered with Franchise India, franchiseindia.com, which is our official website. We can get any business for any investor who is looking forward for any kind of any sort of investment, and that can be bring in with Franchise India, provided that company is offering franchise and that regional location is available for them. So brands are available. So as for the leads, we give leads. So we have 500 leads which are given in your CRM every month. That's a minimum guaranteed leads in your CRM. These are all investor-based leads which you start working and interact with all investors. But when we are giving you brands, so when we select brands, we create a brand portfolio for each and every member who is there with us in the system. So we create a brand portfolio. So as per your city, as per your location, we don't have any location regional barrier. You are territory wise open to work for any territory. There is no barrier, no overlap, nothing. So you will be given brands. You can select brands. We'll also help you to select brands. So initially to focus 3 brands probably to start with. But in your portfolio, there will be also all brands with you as per requirements from the investor. You can start discussing and selling them. But we'll create your brand portfolio. So once we create your brand portfolio, we'll give you brands for those leads for those brands. So this will be all qualified. So we will do the lead generation, all the marketing will be happening for those brands. So there will be lead generation. Now these leads, these are investors who will showcase their interest in that particular brand. That will be qualified leads will be given to you, and there is no limit. If someone is putting more time, we have more leads. So leads is our completely our system is with full leads. So that's our capability to generate more leads. Anyone is engaged with more time, no problem in that case. So E stands for events. We are an event company every month, as we discuss, around 20 free access to all my IFC partners. Again, the investment in terms of organizing these events is from Franchise India. We invite brands, we invite investors, and we do the meetings in between. And then the business which is happening from that particular event is going to your kitty. So IFC partner has to only be available in that event. And once you are available, you do a lot of interactions, you do a lot of relationship building with brands. We get investors, and all these investors are paid investors because we create a B2B business. It's a very, very serious business. So people who are coming to our event are all serious investors. They are looking forward for business opportunities in different segments in terms of investments. So we work them hand in hand. We work them to understand their opportunity and then their requirement, and we select, because we are consultants. We help them to select the right business opportunity for them. So all these events are open for all my IFC partners without any investment. This all investment will be done by Franchise India to invite brands, to invite investors, and also fixing up all the marketing expenses and also the venue costs, everything by Franchise India. T stands for training. As we discussed, there's a 3 days extensive training, physical training in franchise house, which is there in our corporate office in Delhi. So we invite all IFC partners who is on board to come to attend these training programs. So you have to come to Delhi. You are staying with us, your pick and drop, everything we take care of, and you attend this training program. As we discussed, absolutely guarantee, once you attend this 3 days training program, wherein 1 full day will be dedicated by our chairman, and you believe or not, you will be completely in a different world altogether. Because Franchise India is an ocean of opportunities. We give you so much content that you will be feeling great after attending this training program, and then you are absolutely there to go to market. What all we offer as a proposed structure of an IFC, what is the growth? Because as I said, every partner, every investor is unique. So you are right now as an investor, you become Franchise India partner, and what is there for you? So we have created a growth ladder, because someone is putting 100 hours in a month, someone is putting 200 hours a month, someone is ready to earn more, and you want to jump to the next level, and you want more growth to you. So then what is there for you? So in our system, you have to join as an entry level point, which is IFC program. So when you join as an IFC, you are at the entry point. So once you hit 15 lakh rupees revenue in 1 year, 15 lakh rupees revenue in 1 year, or 15 deals, because we are into the deal structuring, we are into transactional business. So we do deals for these brands. If you do 15 deals, you hit 15, you become my IFC elite. And once you hit 50 lakh rupees revenue or 30 deals in a year, you become my IFC Pro. And then you become IFC Master when you hit a crore business. That will be again in 1 year. So to reach out to master level, it may take a year or so, 2 years. But when you hit 15 lakh rupees, it can be in 1 month, 2 months, which is the easiest way to do, and can take 6 months. you become our IFC elite, then pro, and then master. How it is going to change? How it is going to change your payout structure? That's very important. So payout structure says at entry level, you are my 40% shareholder. So you are my partner with 40%. You go to elite, you become my 50% partner. You go to pro level, then you become my 60% partner. And if you are at master level, you become our 70% market shareholder. Now, please understand, at IFC or IFC master level, wherein you get 70%, I get 30%, we still continue giving you all opportunities, all the lead structures, and all the training program every time. Because how to do this business, you need training. Training is consistent. Training is every day. There are new brands launches, new opportunities which we get in. There's a training program which is happening. So what you do is you get 70%, we get 30%, no investment in 70% even, no investment in 60%, no investment in 50%, and your base level, you are my 40% partner. And there are product-wise. So let me take a minute to give you some product-wise information. We work with investors at one side, brands on the other side, which we discussed. There are two banks, investor bank and brand bank. So one side opportunities, one side investors. Where you see I, it stands for investor. Where you see B, it stands for brands. IA and IS, these are two products coming from the investor side because we don't work free. We are consultants. Our product is time. So we work with registered investors. We don't want anyone to come to free, service him 2 months, 3 months, or a month, then he is not coming to me. So what we do, we interact with investors, we onboard investors. We interact with brands, we onboard brands. So the onboarding fees for an investor is we call as IA, investor acquisition fees, which is minimum 25,000 rupees each member. So if you're working with investors, you interact. What you do to ensure that this deal will be confirmed by you, the investor will buy a business through you. So we have a registration process. So we do a small registration with 25,000 rupees from each investor. Then we assign him an advisor. It can be you. And then you start servicing the investor. Servicing would mean you get different opportunities, you get different brands as per their requirement. You create a profile and you see what is the fitment of that investor. And accordingly, you work with your database and give him some options. You start servicing. So after a month, 2 months, it may take 3 months sometimes. Once the deal is closed and he signs any of the brand, he will pay you servicing fees, which is investor servicing fees, IS amount, which is as low as 50,000 rupees to you. So first is 25,000 rupees as an investor registration fees. Then there is a 50,000 rupees investor has to pay to you as a servicing fees because we have service. That's your consulting fees. So both together, you have 25,000, you have 50,000, which is lowest, which is minimum. Then it goes up depending on the investment, how what is the investment investor is looking forward. And at the same time, any brand which he has signed through you will pay us a success fees that is becomes your brand success fees, BS. So brand success fees will come to us, investor success fees will come to us, investor acquisition fees will come to us. All three products, you get 40% of what Franchise India is getting out of these products. So I'll give an example. Let's assume one person is working with investors. Let's say you have onboarded 10 investors in 1 month. There is no target. There is no barrier in that. You can do 20, you can do 5, you can do 6. It's up to you how engaged you are, how involved you are, and how you want to grow. So if you have, will pay you 25,000 rupees each, would mean 10 investors into 25,000, it becomes 2.5 lakh. And there you get 40%, 2.5 lakh, 40,000, 40% straight away, 1 lakh is your share. That is 40% share. Same investor, when you service, it may take time, but it's a guarantee that this business will happen, this deal will happen. So business booked in your name, again, minimum, he will pay 50,000 rupees. All 10 will pay minimum 50. Some will go to 1 lakh, some will go to 2 lakh also, but we are talking about minimum. So minimum is 50,000 rupees each investor. That becomes your 10 into 50, 5 lakh rupees. And you get 40% of 5 lakh, which is 2 lakh rupees. So 2 lakh rupees again to you. At the same time, brand which will pay a success fees. So what is brand success fees? That would depend on brand to brand. We have some bigger opportunities. We have some low cost opportunities. In low cost opportunities, minimum we have a 1 lakh rupees, which is minimum, which is we take as a brand success fees in small opportunities. And then it goes to 2 lakh, 3 lakh, 4 lakh, 5 lakh, 10 lakh also. So let's assume you take 2 lakh rupees each. These 10 investors who have got a franchisee through you, all these brands, let's assume 2 lakh rupees on an average, they pay us as a brand servicing fees. This 10 lakh rupees, these 10 investors will pay 2 lakh rupees each. That becomes again 20 lakh rupees revenue to Franchise India through you. So what your share is again 40% of 20 lakh, that becomes it becomes 8 lakh. So you take 8 lakh rupees from the brand success fees, 2 lakh rupees from the investor success fees, 1 lakh rupees from the investor registration fees. So it becomes 11 lakh rupees if you are engaging only 10 investors in a month. Then it's up to you how you want to grow it. And suppose another part is BD, which is business development. Suppose you are working with some businesses which you feel that they can franchise, and you have some reference, new business, new brands who are looking forward to franchise, or they're already into franchise university. You can get us that link, that reference. We will help you to take that brand on board. Our brand onboarding fees is minimum 7.5 lakh rupees. We have 4 formats. Minimum is 7.5, and then it goes to 15 lakh rupees also, 40 lakh rupees also, depending on the service. But minimum is 7.5 lakh rupees onboarding fees. So your share is 20% of the onboarding fees, which is 7.5 lakh rupees, which is come to Franchise India. Yours is 20% direct. So now this why 20% is in each category on Elite, Pro, and Master, because your part is only to bring the reference. Rest, everything would be done by Franchise India. We support you, we help you, and we get that brand on board, payment also, proposals, presentations, everything will be done by Franchise India. So your role is only to bring that reference. And to us, if it is onboarded, then based on the requirement, we give the proposal. So minimum is 7.5 lakh, as I said. And the moment we take brand on board, we also fix a consulting fees, a servicing fees from the brand, which they have to pay us after selling a franchise, which is onboarding fees, is you get 20%. But there's another fees which brand will pay for each closure, each success which we bring in. So each franchisee which you sell for that brand, it becomes business brand success fees. So you also get 40% again for selling the franchise. So that time, what is the brand success fees would also be fixed when we take brand on board. So it can be 2 lakh, depending on the size of the opportunity, or 3 lakh or 1 lakh. So that will be fixed in the agreement. So once you sell a franchise for the same brand, or anybody will sell for the same brand, anybody can work for any brand, it becomes your brand success fees. So suppose there's a 2 lakh rupees brand pays us as a success fees for selling a first franchise, you get 40% again. In some higher quality businesses, we have also 10 lakh rupees as a success fees. Your success fees, your part will be 40% of 10 lakh. Now again, you can see 4 lakh rupees will go to you directly. So this is very, very highly rewarding. So at elite membership, elite level, same will be 50%, and then it go to 60%, it go to 70%. Now, how you take a license of Franchise India, how you become Franchise India partner, and what is there you have to do. One thing, that is license fees, that's 4.5 lakh plus GST one time. It is only the license fees which you are paying entire 3 years is the agreement. There is no investment after this. This is the license fees, because once we give you a license, we give you the brand, you run our brand, you become Franchise India. This is a one-time license fees, which is there for August till August 31st validity. And then we are changing it. We have already announced that 1st September, we are changing this, but this is last 1 year, it is same. We have not changed it yet. Now, September 1st, we are going to change this. As of now, it is 4.5 lakh plus GST. to become a successful entrepreneur and become the Franchise India partner. So for this, we'll have more discussions together, and all the team heads would be reaching out to you after this webinar and have a one-on-one discussion. You have some questions, please do ask. They will also ask you some questions. If at all it goes well, we have a 10-minute introduction call with our chairman, and after that, only we take on board. So you will join our next training, which is 12th, 13th, and 14th. Anyone who comes on board will joining this training, and then after that, you are ready to go to the market. So thank you very much. It's been, I think, half an hour we have taken extra today. Thank you very much for being there. But this was very, very important to give you some understanding about the opportunity, the payout system, and what we offer, what we are asking for, and that will be helping you out. So we have further discussions, and thank you very much on behalf of our team. And thank you very much for your time and availability also. Thank you.